Some of the work that we're really interested in here at LJMU is to do with injury prevention, and in particular knee injuries and loading around the knee. So we know that in very dynamic tasks that are done in dynamic sports such as football or rugby or any sort of dynamic sport that involves change of direction, that there are high loads going through our joints. And so here at LJMU, we're very interested in how people are moving and the loads that they're experiencing during those movements. And so the sorts of questions that we're interested in is, what are the loading mechanisms and how can we try to reduce those loading mechanisms so that people can reduce their risk of injury? So one of the techniques that we have in biomechanics is three-dimensional motion analysis. And what this allows us to do is to very accurately track the movement of the body and body segments. So for this particular technique, we apply small reflective markers to the body, and these markers are tracked through three-dimensional space through a number of cameras positioned around the lab. So this allows us to look at tasks such as very dynamic tasks such as drop landings, drop jumping, changing of direction, and everyday tasks such as walking or stair negotiation. So this tool really allows us to track very, very accurately how the body is moving. One particular project that is relevant to knee injuries in particular is the project called the Liverpool Knee Injury Study. And this is an ambitious project which is trying to find the risk factors for knee injuries. What this involves is tracking and testing a large number of players all in an uninjured state, and then what we do is we follow those players up over a season to see which of those players then becomes injured. Once we have that injured data, we can then compare those injured versus the uninjured groups to see what are the characteristics of those players become injured, but from their uninjured state. One of the real challenges for sports teams is to decide when their athlete is ready to return to sport. The work we do here at LJMU allows us to help inform those decision-making processes. So we can assess an athlete following a particular injury and see whether that athlete is exhibiting any behaviours that are either likely to delay their recovery or also exhibit behaviours that are likely to lead quickly to re-injury once they might have returned to sport. Part of what makes our research here at LJMU world leading is that we have international collaborators that we work with. Examples of this include the University of Western Australia. So we work with their staff on projects associated with loading of the knee, but also complex musculoskeletal models of the body. So these really allow us to look at the individual muscle forces and also the forces inside the body, which are very difficult to measure. Another international collaboration that we have is around the idea of being able to statistically analyse biomechanical data. Now in biomechanics we collect a lot of data and that data changes over time. So these are very complex signals that we capture. And so we have key collaborators on the statistical analysis of biomechanical data that really allow us to treat and make sure that we use the biomechanical data that we collect appropriately.